Yeah, well, so the point was becoming a cigarette smoker doesn't take 10,000 hours. Yeah, but you're getting extra assistance from your brain. Okay, so let's briefly talk about calendar management. I think as geeks we can go through this pretty quickly. The important thing about a calendar is you want to use it. None of these techniques work if you don't use them. So you not only want one place to write all your calendar information, but we're going to review it at the start of the day and throughout the day and before you go to sleep. I'll talk about that in a second. But the important thing is to write things down. I often used to get into this trap where I'd say, oh, that's so important, how could I possibly forget it? And so I wouldn't put it in my calendar. No, if it's important, you demonstrate its value by putting it in the calendar, right? So we want to put down everything in the calendar. I find, and in fact, another reason, you want to check for conflicts before agreeing to an appointment. I used to do this all the time. I'd say, am I available on November 7th? Yeah, wow, that date sounds familiar. It must be free. What kind of logic is that? No, it sounds familiar because I have something then. And then I used to have to call all the time and say, sorry, I have a conflict. Put it in the calendar. You'll discover this conflict right away. Now, checking your calendar right before you go to sleep is useful. If you're stressed out about the next day, if you check your calendar right before you go to sleep, sometimes it's reassuring. It's reassuring in two ways. One, you might realize that, oh, I thought tomorrow was going to be this crazy stressful day, but looking at it, yeah, now I see what's actually there and I'm confident. It's also relaxing because your brain is now being told, it's in the calendar, I don't have to worry about it anymore. And so it helps you go to sleep. If you've ever been so angry that you couldn't go to sleep, what is actually happening is your brain is trying to keep you awake so you don't forget what you're angry about. It's like dynamic RAM instead of static RAM. Dynamic RAM needs to keep pulsing the RAM or else it loses its information. And your brain is doing that. It's like, remember to be mad, remember to be mad, remember to be mad. So if you keep a pad of paper by the side of your bed, and when you're so angry you can't go to sleep, you write down what you're angry about, your brain says, oh, I won't forget now because it's on that piece of paper, and it'll relax because it knows that it's been transferred to external storage. And you will be able to go to sleep, and when you wake up, you can read the piece of paper and get back to being mad again. In reality, you'll probably be more level-headed and be able to start your day. Okay, we're digressing. So, lots of different calendar software. What calendar software do people in the room use? Just shout out or... Outlook? iCal? Okay, Mac, iCal? Mm-hmm. Mac has some great syncing stuff. In the last couple of years, they've really improved that. I heard the Novell product mentioned, and Outlook, and Zimbra. How many people are using Zimbra? Cool. That's hosted, or you're running it yourself?
In our case, I would say we're running it ourselves.
Okay.
We're co-running it with
so, University runs it? Awesome. Cool. Does it sync with Outlook?
Yeah.
Okay. At most enterprises, if it doesn't sync with Outlook, it's not a calendar system. Okay.
It plays better with Outlook than Apple iCal.
It plays better with Outlook than it does with Apple iCal. Okay, cool. This is a paper calendar. So let me show you. All of the techniques that I'm going to talk about today can be done equally well on paper or electronic. Now, as geeks, I'm sure everyone's like, paper? Why would you do this on paper? The benefit of using a paper binder like this, for me, is that it can't play games. I use my iPhone, and it's like, oh, let me check my calendar, and play Tetris. Yeah. This has an awesome tic-tac-toe implementation, but it's single user, so I keep winning. It gets boring really fast. It'd be a lot worse if I kept losing. This is Franklin Covey stationery. This is the 1 month view. And on my paper version, I actually have a little notation system. I mark my calendar. I use the top. So each square, I'll show you a demo right here. So on each square of that calendar, at the top, I use it for special things. Like I mark people's birthdays, or if someone's going to be out on vacation, I mark it up there. Throughout the day, I sort of proportionally list where my meetings are. Like noon things are, in the middle. And I usually have one thing I do at night, either a board meeting for a nonprofit or movie night or whatever, and that I put at the bottom of the page. Everyone good with calendars? What's the number one thing about calendars? Use them, yes. Okay, because that one time that the movie star asks you out on a date, you're going to not have your calendar with you, and you won't know if there's a conflict, and you'll just have to say, I'm sorry, I'll have to call you back. And they never call back. They never call back.